Greetings and welcome to Astronomy and Physical Science at Hack. In this video, I am going to walk you through my class and essentially how to navigate the class. So a good way to start out to review how the class actually works. And another good way to be able to go back and review if you're ever unsure about anything later. So when you first log in to my hack and then into D2L, you will see something similar to this. Now it'll show your current semester courses. And if you want to look at a different semester, so here it's spring of 2019, and you can then select other sections if you like. Now, if you want to pick your favorite courses, you can also use the little pin buttons on each of these to pin the course that you want. And then you can access them through the tab through this 9 little square tab up at the top. And when you click on that, it will give you all of the courses that you have pinned at the top and then other courses down at the bottom. So it's another way to quickly navigate between courses, your own classes as you're working through. Now we're going to take a look at one of these classes as an idea of how you can navigate. So let's take a look at one of these as you go into my class and then see what you would do. Now my class is set up with a banner at the top, which will always tell you, in this case, the current lesson or lessons on which you are working. So you'll be able to see those, and that'll show up here, lesson 1, and then the topic that we're using. And then down below will be the news and any other updates for the class. So as we scroll down a little bit, you can see that there are news postings and there's the updates in the calendar that are present in the class. Now, in order to navigate my classes, you really only need 2 of the buttons in the navigation bar. And those would be the content button here and the grades button here. Content will take you to everything you need for the class, and the grades will of course show you your grades. You can access things like the email through the communications link, and there are other additional resources that you can get through the resource and general links. But really, for my class, you can get through the vast majority of it using only these 2 buttons. And let's take a look at what those do. In fact, if we look at the content button and click on that, then we would see it will take you to the content browser. And that is how the entire class is organized. So we'll start off looking at lesson 1 just as an example here. And each lesson is then organized into various sections. And I organized them into several different sections, as you can see on the left hand side here, that there is within the lesson here. Here's lesson 1. And within that we have lecture materials, we have discussions, and we have assignments. And that's it. So everything you need for the entire class is here. So the lecture materials, for example, will contain links to the textbook readings that you need, lecture slides that I use for the class, my video lectures that you can use, and then various review materials that you can use to review the content. So all of it is linked to there, and there's no reason to go searching for anything else. Now, if we look a little further down, we would see the discussions, and within the discussions, there are several different things, and that can include the a photo of the day discussion for my astronomy classes. We'll use that. And then there are links. So any graded discussions for the week are going to be in this folder. So you click on that folder, that will access all of your any graded discussions that you could use. If you need help with the class, there are the class help discussions where you can post a question for your classmates or me to answer. And then there are various miscellaneous discussions as well that are used over the course of the class. So you can access all of your discussions that you'd need right here. Again, no reason to leave the content section. Any assignments that are given for the week, in this case, there's an extra credit assignment and a lab, are included within the folders here. So you can click on those and that will give you more information about those assignments. So let's take a look at one of those for a little bit more detail. Let's take a look at, for example, the first lab that I give. And you'll see within that folder, there are a number of different things. There is a video explanation. So if you want video instructions, as I would do in a traditional class, you can access them there. There is the lab Dropbox itself with the specific dates at which it is due. And there is an assignment sheet and an answer sheet that you can use. So the assignment sheet has the instructions for the lab, and the answer sheet is what you would complete and fill in. In this case, there is also a discussion. So I'm showing you this one. It has a lot more than many of the labs and activities will have. But it does have everything that you need for the assignment is right there. So there's no reason to go searching. Again, the whole idea is that I'm trying to put everything together for you so that you have no need to go searching around to look for what assignments you may need to be doing in any specific week. Now, as we go back to the content again, let's go back into the content and look at what we have here. So we were looking at lab 1. Also, when we go to the content, there's one final thing that is used for my classes down at the bottom, and that is the checklist. At the end of each lesson, there is a checklist, and this is to remind you of what needed to be completed. So what did you need to do for this lesson? Now, if we actually look at the checklist, go in and look at it, you can see that within it, it will tell you and give you reminders of everything that you should have done during that lesson. Did you read the chapters? Did you watch the video lectures? Did you complete the various assignments that were due for this week? And some ungraded assignments, things like posting on the class introductions for the first week, are things that are important. So it gives you a reminder. And once you check off everything on lesson 1, lesson 2 would then be available for you. So the checklist is not just there for your convenience. It's also a required part of the class because it serves as a reminder. Did you look at all of these things? And once you do so, you can then access the next lesson of the class. And that allows you to work up to 1 week ahead in my classes. So essentially, that is everything that you need for the class. You can access all the lecture materials, you can access your discussions, and you can access your assignments right through each of the modules. So you do not need the other links that you sometimes use to get directly to the discussions or directly to Dropbox assignments or anything else. Everything I've linked to is right in the content, just to make it a little bit easier and organized so you're not searching around or wondering, did I miss anything? So I hope this has helped to give you a little bit of a better idea of how to navigate my astronomy and physical science classes. And until next time, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.